Throughout elementary school, middle school, and high school, I went to all predominantly white schools. And during this time, I was hoping that I could also achieve something that my fellow peers were easily getting. I wanted the Bucky beard. I don't know what the actual style is called, so we're calling it that. But when you're Asian, you can't get the Bucky beard. Have you ever seen an Asian person with a beard before? Exactly. That's because when the beard starts growing, you have to immediately spawn camp it, or else you'll look like Shifu from Kung Fu Panda. Not only did I want a Bucky beard, but I also wanted a certain hairstyle. During this time in high school, I wanted the hairstyle from my favorite action movies, Marvel movies, and John Wick. Now, Bucky and John Wick had the hairstyle that I wanted, and as opposed to the Bucky beard, I think I can get this hairstyle because anyone and their grandma can grow long hair. And that's when I eventually realized the problem with getting the Bucky Wick hair. The reason why Bucky and John Wick look good with this hairstyle is because their head shape complements the cut, also their face geometry and professional hairstylists that they always have. And to get from this to this, you either have to go through an awkward hair phase and then get the Bucky Wick hair, or get haircuts very often. I went through the awkward hair phase and yeah, I looked like this. And then I gave up. Being 100% Korean, I never grew up having an identity crisis because I wasn't half Korean and half, I don't know, Italian, where I would go to 2 different family gatherings and one day I'm eating some tasty spaghetti and another day I'm eating jjajangmyeon. You should be slurping your noodles. No, you should eat spaghetti with a fork, not chopsticks. Now that sounds tiring if you're getting that from your relatives. So fortunately, I didn't have to worry about that sort of ethnic identity crisis. But actually, I did. Because when you're Korean American, you're not really Korean. You're just American. It doesn't help that I don't speak Korean, so I couldn't absorb any of the culture when I went to family gatherings and everyone's speaking Korean, but no one's giving me any subtitles. But let's say I've been self-studying Korean and Kevinu can hold up some conversation. Hey yo, Kevin has an accent. What is this? He's not even Korean. Okay, so if I put 90% effort into learning the language to hold a conversation with the unks, then my accent gets roasted? I've learned to suppress my emotions when I'm mad and sad because I came to a realization that it wasn't worth protecting my peace. You may ask, did this start with people doing you wrong? Nope, it started with video games. If you've ever played a multiplayer video game, you would know that one person on the team has the power to throw the entire game. This could either be disconnecting the game, or even worse, still playing but sabotaging the team. So not only is it paramount that you win the game by being good at defeating the enemy team, but also making sure you don't tilt your teammates by asking if they're a real human or if they're playing on a controller. This is the Achilles heel of multiplayer games. You're gonna get a teammate who gets tilted and costs the entire game for the rest of the 5 or 6 teammates. In the case of Counter-Strike or Valorant, you have these weapons that you can also hand over to your teammates. You would say, hey, can someone drop me? So if you have powerful weapons, but your teammate doesn't have enough credits to purchase a weapon, well, then a part of your squadron is weak, and you could lose the round as not everyone is equipped. The sniper rifle is a very strong weapon in the game, and when I ask my teammate if he can give me the op because I low-key go crazy with it, that right there can stir up conflict. Hey bro, can you give me the op? No, I picked it up. Well, it was my op in the first place. No, finders, keepers, losers, weepers. They don't actually say that. I just wanted to say that. Because in actuality, 90% of the time, they ignore you and then get nothing out of the sniper rifle. To realize how crazy this is, let me explain this in American football terms. At the end of the play, let's say the chunky linebacker ends up with the football in his hands, and the quarterback is like, hey bro, toss me the football. And the linebacker goes, nah, I have the football. I'm the quarterback now. That would make no sense. So now you have Brock Purdy versus Gorlock the Destroyer, and then the 49ers defense crumbles down and the chunky dude playing quarterback launches the football into the crowd. This is essentially what I had to deal with in my entire teenage years, and that taught me to be passive aggressive. So you learn to stop asking favors from your teammate because it might hurt their ego. But if I really need to do a reality check, then I'll do these passive aggressive things. If you watch my previous videos, you know that I talk about this game that I play called Marvel Rivals. And in this video game, there's a very easy way to lose that many people never realize, and this is where I become the most passive aggressive. It's called staggering. The game is 6 players versus 6 players, and when you fight each other and one guy goes down, they have to wait to respawn and then walk back to the battlefield. During this time, well, it's 6 people versus 5 people, and that team of 5 is gonna crumble like a house of cards. The next guy goes down, and then the next guys. Once the 6th guy gets defeated, well, now the first guy has made his way back to the battlefield, but his other 5 teammates are walking back to the battlefield as well. Now, it's easy pickings for this one guy since it would generally be 6 guys versus 1 guy now. And then the cycle continues. And then you get the smart guy who goes, well, I'm a tank character, so I can just peek into the battlefield because I want to look at them and then walk back to you guys. Here's where the passive aggression comes out of me. Hey guys, remember that this game is a team game. Hey guys, remember that 5 versus 6 is not as strong as 6 versus 6. Can we just wait and then go together as 6 people again? Nah. Okay, don't tell anyone that I said this, but if height comes up in a conversation and the person I'm talking to is taller than me, so like everyone, I'll say, oh yeah, I'm around 5'2", nothing biggie. What? I thought I was 5'10". You mean I'm more like 5'7"? And that's the worst thing a 5'10" person can ever imagine, them actually being 5'7". Now, if the person is aware of their height, I have another way to troll them, and I did this back in high school. We were playing Ultimate Frisbee during band class, don't ask why. And to make even teams, you need both teams to have a similar spread of height. So I say something along the lines of, hey, if you get Kuro, then we should get Bokuto. What are you guys, like 5'11"? That's how to make a 6-footer tweak. Call them the F word, 5 foot. On the topic of 5'11", have you ever met someone who's 5'11"? I sure haven't. That's because there are 5'11ers among us that ran out of the hood that they belong in, and it's my duty to bring them back. There are these two guys in my friend group, and I've heard them mention before how their high school puberty got them to 6 foot flat. Oh really? How convenient. Cause you still look like a 5-footer. The moral of the story is that 5'11 equals 5'6", and being 5'6 equals 5'3". I've accepted my fate, and maybe I've accepted it too much where 6 foot and 6'1" isn't that tall in this economy anymore. It's like, you're getting there, but when you're 6'5" and up, now that's tall. Video games are also the reason why I rarely disagree with people, because if you disagree with your teammates and show them how you are on the same page as them, then that teammate starts to throw for the rest of the game because his ego gets hurt. It took me until college to figure out that maybe disagreeing was healthy and it was necessary at some times. If you watched my worst college roommate stories, then you've heard about my freshman roommate Bucky. We got along pretty well, but Bucky loved to disagree with everyone and their grandma. When I would voice my opinions, Bucky would more than likely disagree and we'd start a debate. I felt like we were coming out of our honeymoon phase with how much we were disagreeing with each other. I remember getting triggered by 2 disagreements we had, where the first one was about the new AK sound in CSGO. I said how the new AK sound was weird, but Bucky chimed in and said, nah, the old sound was way too loud and bad. And I genuinely took that personally, as if I have bad judgment. I think it was nostalgia that makes me miss that old AK sound, but after hearing him out, I guess that old sound was loud and obnoxious. Now, the second disagreement we had, I was much more heated. The dormmates and I were having late night food at the cafeteria, and the song that was playing in the speakers was oldies music. Now, I like oldies music, and I was like, hey, this song is good. But everyone at the table was into modern music, and Bucky went, you're into that boomer music. And I got so triggered by that, but I didn't say anything after that. Actually, I remember why I was so triggered. It's because I appreciate the efforts of playing a musical instrument because I was in jazz band, but today's music lost that touch, and now it's all about beep, 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 beep.